So we're returning now to this sikha, beautiful sikha speech that the Rebbe gave in 1991, which this was not long before his stroke that totally disabled him. He couldn't speak. He was paralyzed. So these are among the last speeches that the Rebbe gave. And it's really purely dealing with Moshiach. So the Rebbe pointed out that, as we said before, yes, that everything comes to teach us something about serving God. And the main goal of Judaism, serving God completely, this will be completed by Moshiach. Moshiach is going to really wake everyone up. Moshiach is going to really activate the potential in every single person in the world. Jews first. And this is all hinted at a little bit so we can at least prepare ourselves a little bit for what's going on. I mean, a person could say, okay, so Mashiach comes, so let him come. What do I care? Leave me alone. Let Mashiach come. People have been saying this for 2,000 years already, more. And, you want me to really disrupt my life for this Mashiach, 2,000 years to disrupt my life. When's he going to come? So the answer is, you don't have to really disrupt your life so much. You just have to sort of point toward the truth and want to accept the truth. And the truth is who you are, who you really are. It says this is hinted at discovering, like sort of cleaning your glasses, who you really are. So you can see things clearly, what's there. It's not to invent something. And so this is also, we can learn from things that already are. What? For instance, Shabbat. Shabbat is a thing that already exists. It's God created the world. 6 days, 7 days, the day of Shabbat already exists. Do you feel the message of Shabbat? Do you feel it? Okay, you just have to tune in, clean your glasses, like we're saying. What about Rosh Chodesh, the first day of the month? Do you feel the message there? Huh? The new month? I feel that? No, not really. So, okay, what about the month of El? You feel the amazing month, the amazing message. In the month of Elul, wow, I am to my beloved is me. No, okay, next on the line, what about Parshat Ra'eh? Can you feel the blessing of God? Ra'eh, see, you can see God is allowing us to see him, he's giving us power from above to below. Do you see and you feel that? So, well, not really so much. The reason is because you're not directing your thoughts to it. It's there to be seen. You just have to sort of, look. They have these things sometimes in the magazines. What is wrong with this picture? Find, who was it, Waldo or something? What is it? Find. You have to really look close in order to see what's going on. But once you see what's going on, people used to go, who knows where, rush to find gold, to find diamonds, to go in the middle of the ocean to get pearls. It's worthwhile to go down and to search to find something really valuable. So here we have these amazing, amazing lessons, jewels, which are contained in things that are right in front of us. Shabbat, Rosh Chodesh, the month of Elul, Parshat Ra'eh, Ani L'Dodi, Dodi Li. All these amazing things. Also now we are in the third week of the 7 weeks of comfort that God is comforting us. Okay, Yesh Lomar, we can say the hint of this in the service of Adam. The fact that Shabbat, like this year, Shabbat, this coming Shabbat, comes before Rosh Chodesh. This year, Shabbat, this Shabbat is Shabbat Mavorchim. We bless the next one. It's the last Shabbat of the month of, and the day afterwards is Rosh Chodesh Elul, the first day of Elul. The fact that Shabbat comes before Rosh Chodesh is that Shabbat was in the beginning of creation. Rosh Chodesh, this idea that the months renewed, this was added on after the world was created. Like the rabbis say, when God chose to create the world, Kavabo Rosh Chodeshim V'Shanim. After God created the world, then he decided when is going to be the first of every month and of the years, how the moon's going to go around. When did God make the moon? He made time existed as soon as the world was created, but God didn't divide it up. How do we know when the beginning of the month was? By the moon. How do you know when Shabbos is? How do you know? No way of knowing. Absolutely no way of knowing what day of Shabbos is. There is such a thing as Shabbat. You can look at the stars, you can look at the sky, you can look at the atoms, you can look at whatever you want to do. You will not know what day Shabbat is. They say that there used to be big tzaddikim that they could tell spiritually what day Shabbat is. But most people cannot. There's even a Mishnah in Shabbat. If a person, in Mishnah at Shabbat, a person is found somewhere in the desert or something, doesn't know which day Shabbat is, what should you do? Because Shabbat is so important. You have to keep Shabbat. Want to keep it. So there's laws. So first of all, God created Shabbat. Shabbat basically hasn't got anything to do with nature. Then after that, God created the months. Misha Bachar is afterwards. Lo Misha Bora. It says, the Yeshlom, we can say that this is tied to the Bechirat of Yaakov Upanov, that God chose Shabbat and he chose Rosh Chodeshim. He created the world. He chose the world, and he chose the months. This idea of choosing, this is really only relevant to the Jewish people, Yaakov, and it's Bnei Yaakov is Yisrael, Bnei Yisrael. The Hemshech, what it says, Bechar Yaakov Upanav, cover Rosh Chodesh of Geula. It says that after God chose, it's in a midrash, what the rabbis say. Let's see where this is, 1 second. Here. It's a midrash Shmot Rabbah. Shmot Rabbah. Getting to it is easy. Getting back is a little bit of a problem. Here we go. Yeah. So first of all, God created Shabbat. By means of Shabbat, that was part of the creation of the world. Afterwards, when God chose Yaakov and his sons, Yaakov, then he decided when is going to be the first months. When did God say the commandment of sanctifying the month? This is when the Jews, when they were about to leave Egypt. God gave Moses, the first commandment God gave to the Jewish people is sanctifying the month. Yisrael, Enahu, the Chacheu, Lizmani. Jewish people, they made time holy. That's the Jewish people, they decide when the months are, which is not the case. Shabbat was from the beginning of the creation. God said it. There's nothing to do with nature. Because the Shabbat livnei sheshet made bereshit, like we said before, the Shabbat was really there before God created the world. Shabbat mekadsha b'kaim, it says Shabbat is holy and it exists. It's above time, which is not the case. The month Rosh Chodesh is attached to time. Even deeper. Shabbat Kadmal Olam, that says that Shabbat was there before the world. It's above time, which is not the case. Rosh Chodesh is relevant to the time. When God chose his world, then he said, now I'm going to set beginnings of months and when beginnings of years are going to be. But Rosh Chodesh is a special Jewish holiday, Rosh Hashanah for sure. Alpisa, according to this, we can explain the Tochen of the Inyano Shabbos. If so, what is the connection between Shabbat, even more the Inyano Shel Rosh Chodesh Elul than the first day of Elul? Al Yedei Akdima, the Shabbat of Rosh Chodesh, because we see in this month, for instance, Shabbat comes before Rosh Chodesh. So, like we say, everything in the world is to teach us to recognize the Creator and to be partners with the Creator and to serve the Creator. So Shabbat has one message and Rosh Chodesh has another message. Shabbat, in this case, comes before Rosh Chodesh. How much more so, Al Yedei, Alachatz Kama V'Kama, much more so, Al Yedei Zeh, Shalom Azkirim Inyan Shel Rosh Chodesh, that we do not mention this Shabbat. We're not talking about Rosh Chodesh in the Haftorah, right? This Haftorah, only Shabbat alone. This Shabbat, we only read the Haftorah of this Shabbat. Actually, we read us something. We add a little something about the tomorrow is going to be Rosh Chodesh, Machar Chodesh. She'avodat Adam, the service of man, ani ladodi. This idea of recognizing God and seeing what God demands from us, how much we owe Him, and how we can repay Him, and how we can be partners with Him. That's ani ladodi. I go up to my beloved. Has to be in a way that in the beginning that you are found you want to start serving God, first of all, realize who you are. Who you are. You're a Jew, you're Shabbat. That's the whole thing of Shabbat. Essentially, you have power that is above nature. League of all. This is felt more Minyan Shel Rosh Chodesh. This is felt even more than the feeling of Rosh Chodesh, that I can change the world, I can do it, I. In some things you only feel Shabbat. Okay, so again, what is Shabbat? My connection to God. I'm above the world. The world has no effect on me. The world is already fixed up. What's Rosh Chodesh? I have to fix up the world. I have to declare the month. But start off with Shabbat. Shabbat means I'm above the world. The world has no effect on me. I'm only connected to the creator of the universe. Ultimate joy, ultimate love. So therefore, when it comes to Rosh Chodesh, when you're mentioning the things of Rosh Chodesh, Eino Magbila at the Mila Shabbat, the League of Wool. Therefore, this Shabbat is not mentioning at all the whole topic of Rosh Chodesh. El by means of this is drawn down the Shabbat, unlimited, pure infinity, is drawn down into Rosh Chodesh, which is going to be the day after Shabbat. In our case, Rosh Chodesh Elul, Ani Ladodi. Now, this is not just a regular Rosh Chodesh. This is Rosh Chodesh Elul. It gives us infinite power and ability to come close to God. Ani Ladodi. Sha'avudat Adam, that the service of man should be in a way that's above any limitation. Shabbat. In other words, you tried something, you failed, it shouldn't get you down. You failed, that's the past. That's not the real you. And it could be you failed to come to teach you something. But for sure, failing doesn't mean you should stop. For sure not. Exactly the opposite. It means you should increase more. You're not connected enough to your source. Connect, it's right there. Especially this Shabbat. When we read, what do we read in this Shabbat? Shabbat itself is infinite. It's above time. This gives us power to go into the world and change the world, to be a good example. Especially this Shabbat when we read Parshat Re'eh. What is Re'eh? Re'eh, I am giving to you a blessing. Shekev and Shebachinat Anochi, since this level of Anochi, Misha Anochi, the essence of God that was revealed at Mount Sinai was Anochi. That was the first word God spoke. God said, I am what I am. All you can explain God is that He's God. There's nothing you can compare God to. Nitna b'pinimiyus, so this feeling of the essence of God, in addition to Shabbat, which is above time, this is God who gave the Shabbat. This is put in the internal, the inside. The oven shall kviut v'nitzchiot. Anochi note hayom, says, I'm giving you today, that's eternal. That's like we learned in the Mimer, we just finished, that the essence of God, this name Eila of God, we say Kael, the 13 attributes of mercy. This is part of the identity of Yisrael. So therefore, the month of Elul just comes to remind us, Harihu bavadai, lamayla lagamri mehagbala v'gidrei olam. So a Jew is totally above the world. What do you mean that you're above the world? You can just sort of float around. You don't have to listen to what your wife says, right? She says, go out and buy me I need a dozen eggs. And hello, what's wrong with you? A dozen eggs. I'm floating. I am above the world. I am untouchable. That's the opposite of reality. We're talking about that you're above any limitations so that you can do the Torah. The Torah says you should get married, have a family, be a mensch, be a normal person, but you're not doing it because of what people think about you and what I'm going to get in the future and what's going to be. You're doing it because you're connected to the creator of the universe, and there's no limit to this. When you are in such a situation, that you're connected to God and His Torah, and that the world is just here in order for you to improve it, then you'll over avoda. So then you'll be able to serve your God. You serve Hashem. You'll be able to serve Hashem. Then you'll be able to be in the world. When you're really attached to the essence of the Creator, and you reveal this Shabbat, and even more, the Re'ei Anochi, that you feel this Anochi, the essence of God, then you'll be able to do things like a normal person in the world. Nobody will be able to see you're not floating. You don't have to put on some sort of a magic, gown or something, and your eyes are rolled up, and you don't get married. Exactly the opposite. You're married and you deal with your children, and you can laugh at jokes, and you can help other people, and you're aware of everybody's problems. And if someone, you get on the bus and an old lady needs a seat, you stand up for her. Whatever, you're in the world, but at the same time, you have wide vision. You have wide vision because you realize I am just a creation of God. I am a Jew. I'm put here in order to bring blessing to the world. Now let's see what needs to be done. Anything that needs to be done. Therefore, you can be in the limits of the world, because that's the whole idea. Dira b'tachtonim, to be in the world. It's an impossible thing, and in fact, it is impossible. A human being cannot do it, but with God, of course, you can do it. What's the problem? Of course, with God, anything is possible, and that's the whole point he wants to say. If you're really attached to the Creator, then you can do the impossible. What's the impossible? Being connected to the Torah, to the limitations of the Torah, and being within the limitations of the world, and still be totally infinite all the time. Like the Holy Temple. The Holy Temple was very limited, exact measurements. If one of the measurements wasn't there, the whole thing was disqualified. But nevertheless, it was a place where the essence of God was revealed. And that's what every Jew can be. And that's what we get from this Shabbat. The awareness that that's what we are. The awareness that we have this power. It's like a person is, digging around in the garbage cans for maybe there's a sardine can, and maybe there's a little sardine somebody forgot to take out of the can, stuck in the corner, a little bit of tuna fish over there. And someone comes up to him and says, "What? You're Shlomo Gross, right?" He says, "Yeah." He says, "What? I don't understand. You're a multimillionaire. You have millions of dollars in the bank. Now leave me alone. You just want to get away. Oh, I found the can. You want the sardine? I don't want sardines. I'll give you as much sardines." "Oh, you'll give me sardines? Oh, okay. I see. You're a nice person. Listen, you don't need the sardines unless you like sardines. You're a rich person. You got it in the bank. Go to the bank. It's already there." That's what he's saying. The month of Elul, when it's just coming and telling us how rich we are. How rich we are. How much God loves us. He says, "Re'ei Anochi, I'm giving you my Anochi." And you have the Shabbat. You have Rosh Chodesh. Yesh lo si, if we can add on, Sha'kesher v'shaychot the Parshas Re'ei, in the month of Elul, the service of man in a way which is above any limitations, is B'hadgasha Miyuchedes, especially Shabbos Rosh Chodesh Elul of Shana Tov Shin Nun Aleph, the Shana Niflot Areno. And this year is Tana Pelaot Areno. Take the Nun, Tov Shin Pei Aleph. First of all, we have to know that a service of a person, really completion, will only be when the Moshiach comes. That the soul of the Moshiach is Yechida. We did this before. We did this yesterday. The soul of the Moshiach is the level of Yechida. This is the level of Yechida of every Jew. Like this level of, we said, the Ale of the Jew, of the Yisrael. And by means of this revealing the Yechida, this individual spark of Mashiach, which is in every single Jew, which said that's the fifth level, which is in every Jew, is by means of Mashiach, he just reveals this fifth level of the soul. And that's especially the first letters of Elul, Ayani Ladodi, like we said before, Ladodi Li. This is especially Shabbat that comes before Rosh Chodesh Elul of this year, because in addition to the fact that we have to wait every moment that Mashiach will come. And especially after it says that all of the projected times have already arrived and all of our services finished. And now we are in the month of Shana, the year of Plaot Areno, take away the nun, of miracles we will see, like the days of going out of Egypt. Areno Niflaot, you'll see miracles. So therefore, we already saw a lot of miracles. And the redemption that we had with all these Jews got out, remember, of Russia, we talked about this last time. Like it says, Anochi, I am giving today this blessing. All of these blessings are coming down, and the biggest blessing of all is the future redemption, where the potential of the godliness of every Jew will be revealed, the godliness of every creation will be revealed, and everyone will say, yeah, the Moshiach is already here. So we did this. This is especially stressed in this Haftorah of the Shabbat. Even though we should be, see, because this year when the Rebbe spoke, it was Rosh Chodesh, so they didn't say the Haftorah, which is Ani Se'ora. Ani Se'ora means the poor person that's you're all flustered and everything. Says God, don't worry about it. I'm going to comfort you. We're going to do the Haftorah, God willing, tomorrow. Okay. What should we actually do? We have to advertise everyone that the month of Elul, the special month of Elul, which is in all these first letters of Elul, Gemilat Chasadim, Tshuva, Geula, etc. We talked about before that the first letters of Elul hint at all these different ways of serving God through charity, through prayer, through learning Torah, by doing Tshuva, and also Geula, waiting for the redemption. Because this idea of the future redemption should permeate everything, our service of God. By means of this, then we're already in the spirit of the future redemption, especially by learning the Torah of Chassidut that talks about redemption and learning about the Holy Temple. And all of this should be with an expectation, a certain expectation, and a certainty that immediately we will see with our fleshy eyes the Melech HaMashiach will come. So therefore, what do we have to do? We have to advertise everywhere. Words that come out of the heart, that God is saying to every single Jew, look, Anotchi noten lifnechem hayom bracha. I am giving you a blessing. That today we can see in our physical eyes the biggest blessing of all, the future redemption, agula mitit v'shlema. The future redemption, and again to remind everyone, what does it mean, this future redemption? It means that the good in every human being will be revealed. The potential in every single human being in the world will be revealed. The love, the care, the honesty, the integrity of every single person in the world will be revealed. And every single human being, and the more human beings there are, the better, have infinite potential. Things that we never would have dreamed of are laying inside of human beings that we thought were just total basket cases that have IQ of, 3. We thought these people are just, who cares about them? Let them die. We don't care. And those people could be revealed the biggest miracles of all. And we can see, Lahadgish, Sheba'achrazah, or Pirsam, always said there has to be by means of Eila Shetoni. These people say that they don't really understand it. All these ideas are wonderful, but I'm not talking to people that really understand. I'm talking to people that they don't really understand these ideas yet. It's not really accepted to them. Redemption and Geula and Moshiach. What could it possibly be? 1 second.